Welcome back to another Jeff Reviews for you. As you can see in this video, we are taking a look at a pair of HOKAs to see how they fit, how long they last, and well, do they hold up over time? You know what though? Enough talk, let's get right into this review. Have you tried a pair of HOKAs? I've had a lot of people tell me these are really great shoes, so I wanted to try them out for myself. This is the HOKA Bondi 8, and this retailed for right around $160. Let's open this up to see what we get. As you can see, I picked the black on black. I just thought it looked nice. They have a lot of different color choices that you can opt for. If you check this out, man, that is a decent size sole on this sneaker. Wow. Of course, it's not as thick as it looks because it's right about down here, but it's still a pretty thick sole. If we look on the bottom, that tread looks actually really decent. It feels rugged. I'm kind of excited about that, although I am a little nervous. This part in the middle feels soft. I would have liked it if the whole bottom was a thick sole, but we'll see how that works over time. Of course, these are lace-ups all the way, and I am gonna see if I can pull out the sole that they have in these shoes because I have my own that I like to wear, so I'm gonna do that now. We'll take a closer look at the insole. All right, let's just see if these are glued in or not. Oh no, that's cool. So these insoles are not actually glued in, so we can just pop those out pretty easily. They are really thin, kind of inexpensive. I have my own that I like to use a whole lot more, so let me put those in, and we're gonna get to testing these out. To be completely fair, I did try the HOKA insoles for an entire day just to see if I would like them, and to be honest with you, it was a horrible experience. You can see that at the thickest point, it's about 1/8 of an inch thick. As I was using them, I felt there was little to no support on the heel nor on the arch, and I was like, wow, this is actually really uncomfortable. Now, don't get me wrong, they are soft. I just didn't feel like they had a whole lot of support to them. I am grateful that these were not glued in and I can easily take them out and put in my own insoles. That's at least a cool feature. A lot of sneakers, they glue these in and well, you can't even get them out. Not in this case. All right, so we have our own insoles in place here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end up testing this out over the next 6 months. These are gonna be the shoes I wear every single day. I'm not doing anything extraordinary, no races, nothing like that, just regular walking, typical every single day. We're gonna do a 3-month check-in and then I guess a 6-month check-in. I'm really excited to see how these work. I'm gonna give you my day one impression of these shoes. When I first put them on, I thought, wow, these are very stiff. And it's almost like this area right here where the arch is on the inside, I thought, wow, this is absolutely terrible. But as the day has gone along, it's sort of like broken in and sort of fit towards my feet. And I really like that. It's good to know that there is like a little break-in time period because I almost gave up on them because I didn't like the way they made my feet feel. And so now I'm like, man, I'm glad I stuck through with it. So after the first day, it is sort of like walking on a cloud. And I do not feel really any pain in my back. That was my biggest concern. People tell me that these are great for your back, and as for me, I feel as though I'm supported and, well, they're going good. Although this is not a completely scientific test, I do want to see how much height I gain by wearing my HOKAs. So right now we're going to take a measurement at my sock height right here without the shoes. Now I'm going to do my very best not to adjust the sock height, and let's go put on our HOKA. I am using the actual HOKA insoles for this test. And there we go. Let's see what kind of a height I gained just by wearing these shoes. There you have it. You gained just about 1 inch with your new HOKAs. I've been using these for right around 3 months, and I should say on average, I get about 8,000 to 10,000 steps a day. So not really a whole lot, at least in my opinion, but let's just take a close look at what these shoes look like after 3 months. I have a still photo of what the original sole looked like, and I wanted to compare it to what it looks like after 3 months. You can see that there's a lot of wearing right around here, definitely the tread that goes down the middle. I'm also concerned about these two softer pieces in the middle. There's a lot of wear there as well. Maybe this is to be expected, but in my opinion, I thought with the thick sole that it had, it wasn't really just gonna be these little tiny rubber flaps, that maybe more of this was part of the sole, but it really is not. It's just really thin rubber on the bottom. We can also see there's quite a bit of wear on the back right here of the shoe. Now I will say I do not pull these on and off. I untie them every single time and then I tie them. I do not just slide my feet in and out. So that's just a lot of wear in my opinion. I actually reached out to the company about this because in my opinion that should be like a warranty claim. They told me that after about 3 months of use, this is what you will expect. So therefore, well, there is no warranty claim. I'm going to keep using these for another 3 months and we'll do our final check-in. I'm excited to say that I've been using these now for 6 months. So we're going to do a look at the sole here and then of course follow up on the inside of the shoe itself. I'm comparing now the original sole to the 3-month update and now here's the 6-month update. You can see that we have that continually wear pattern right through here. I did notice one of the little pieces of rubber is actually gone on the back here, and I've noticed recently that, you know what, my back has kind of been sore, and I'm wondering if it's because the sole has just worn completely out and there's not a whole lot of tread left. In my opinion, it's probably time to replace these. Maybe I should replace them at the 3 months, but there's definitely a lot more wear here than I expected. I wanted to get a close-up of this tearing out in the back here. Remember we showed you that in the 3 months, it was pretty bad, but it's actually gotten a lot worse. Plus, I noticed, you can see back here, there's this white piece, and this actually is a thin piece of plastic that sometimes it cuts into the back of my ankle, and it's really hurts when it does that. So, in my opinion, I probably should replace these at the 3 month, but I wanted to see how long I could use them. 6 months was probably a bit too long. In the end, I do like the shoe, and for the most part, the top part is really held up well. I thought that was built with a lot of great quality. The sole leaves something to be desired, and so does the stitching or the support back here. That was extra frustrating for me. I would love to hear from you though. Have you tried HOKAs? Was this something that you would recommend? Or is there another shoe that you think is a whole lot better? Let me know down in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. As I was calculating the last 6 months of use, I should say that I'm 6'3", I'm right around 255 pounds, and if I average right around 8,000 steps a day or a little over that, I'm at 1.5 million steps in these sneakers over the past 6 months. That was completely mind-boggling to me. After 1.5 million steps, I do feel as though I gave these shoes a pretty decent review. In this video, we are taking a look at a pair of sneakers from HOKA. So what do we think of it? First things first, let's talk about that price point. In my opinion, $165 is a lot of money for a pair of sneakers. Now, you might not think that, but I certainly do. On the topic of price, I should say that the price does vary. I've seen these run as low as $100, and I've actually seen them just up to right around $200, depending on the color, the size, the style of sneaker that you choose. As we noted in the video that they started out really stiff, and I almost gave up on even wearing these because they were uncomfortable. But after about a day of use, they sort of broke in, and wow, I really did like them. After my first 3 months of normal wear and tear, I did notice that some of the tread was just wearing out, and then I sort of realized that this tread wasn't as thick as I thought it was, and they're really just thin pieces of rubber on the bottom, plus the back of that heel spot started wearing away, and that to me is kind of frustrating. After 6 months, the wear and tear continued even more, and they got to the point where, man, they were so broken down that they ended up starting hurting my back just by using them. In my opinion, you get about 3 to 4 months of use, and therefore you have to weigh the pros and cons against the price of these sneakers. I would love to hear from you though. How long do you think you should be able to wear a pair of sneakers? Do I have unrealistic expectations? Let me know down in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. These sneakers currently have a 4.4 star rating. There's not a whole lot of people that actually have reviewed them, but let me go through some of the things that they've said. A lot of people said they were an exceptional shoe. One person said, man, my feet are finally not hurting. On the other side, there are some people that said, man, the heel crushed within a week, the shoes are falling apart, and even they're very difficult to put on. So it is kind of subjective to what you're looking for. I just wanted to share some of the other feedback out there. Anyway, that wraps up my entire review where I took a look at the HOKA Bondi 8. If these are something that interests you, I will leave a link down in the description. This is Jeff with Jeff Reviews for You. As always, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a great day.